Hi, Nicholas here. Welcome to the Akousunesis method. Today we're going to look at how deep is your love. And we're going to look at a couple of places where there's little tricks that the composers put in there, and I've highlighted them, and they give the piece a lift. And I'll show you what I mean. We'll get straight in there. So we'll just get to my website, and just on the menu up here, I've placed Song Analysis menu up here, How Deep Is Your Love, number 7. Click on that. So I've done all the work for you. So if you've got a tablet, just shove it in front of your keyboard, and you can go through the video, and you can get straight to the website as well. So you can do it straight from the website. So I've done all the work for you. I just want to highlight and show you these chords in blue here and what this means. We'll talk about it when we're a bit closer to it, when we're working it out. But they're just chords which have come out of key. So the key today we're using is the key of E flat. So you can go watch the E flat video if you're not sure of E flat. But so what we have here is so where the songs come out of key. And this bit is very important. This is sort of my invention, the way I use this, because what it can do for you, these things, it's telling you not only that it's gone out of key, the chord does that, right? And this is telling you where it came out of key and what's the new character now, right? So I'll just give you a quick example. So we know here, so 6, right, is the Aeolian. So it's the 6th chord in E flat, right? Right there, if that's 6, 5, 6. So it's normally a minor chord, right? It's normally a minor chord, but what they've done is turned it into a major chord, right? So it's a 6M. And what you do with these is that they add some flavour to your song. And in my book, I've got a whole collection of these, and they're very common. A lot of them are quite common. Like a 3M is the harmonic minor. It gives you the chord that's in the harmonic minor, a 3M. So by understanding what these mean, you can utilise them in your own compositions. So, and if you have a look in verse 1, they give you a hint here of coming out of key on the C and the G, right? And then they've got a really interesting one with a D flat there, and I'll talk about that one. So you're hearing them come out of key, and then they bring them all together in the chorus. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them all together, and it's such a beautiful chorus. So it's an amazing song. So let's get into it. All right. So, and I've got the Bee Gees just here to help us out. So let's have a look. E flat. So so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the link up here, and we're going to go to Chordify, right? And you're just going to play that. I'm not going to play it now because I don't want to get copyright strikes. So you're just going to play it so you can hear it, right? And the concept is you play it, you play the whole lot for a couple of times, and then you're learning, say, the intro. So you're going to play the intro a couple of times and listen to it. Then come back, right? And then when you're working out these numbers, you're going to find that they're going to make sense because you already have the melody in your head, in your ear, right? So, and when you're analysing these numbers, they're going to make sense, right? We're training the ear, so eventually we don't need to concentrate on numbers, right? But we use these now so you can get that ear trained. So, all right, the first thing is, all right, so we're on E flat, okay? Now, you've got to know your scale of it, the E flat, right? So you've got to know all your notes. So, but let's have a look here. It's 5. Now, when you see this, there's no timing information, okay? We don't concentrate on timing. I've said that many times, but I can never say that enough. The worst thing you can do is try to learn a song and try to concentrate on timing. Timing will come naturally, and that's the point of listening to the song too, because you don't realise it, but the timing is actually going in your head. The melody, we are so good at remembering melodies. You know, you can remember a melody from years ago. You know, we are very good at it. So it goes. Okay, so that's the intro. So let's just have another look at that. So the left hand, so you can see my hands up at the top there on the keyboard. So I'm just doing an octaves, right, on the left hands with the E flat, and the index finger is on the 5, right? So we're just going 5, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3. Now I want you to note those 2, 3 note, right? So we're going 5, 1, 1, 2, 3. And again, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3. Then we go 3, 5, 5, 6, 7, 3. So the 6, 7 on the A flat is the same notes, right, as the 2, 3 on the E flat, okay? Songs do that a lot. They pick 2 notes, or sometimes 1, or sometimes a little pattern, and they use that as an anchor point. And they play one chord, and then they play another chord with the exact same notes. Sometimes they'll just use a pattern, and you have one chord, play that pattern, and play the same pattern somewhere else, but it'll be the same pattern. So there's these little tricks that you can learn with songs, right? So that's the intro. Now, we've got a lead in here. Sometimes you can put the lead in verse 1 before the E flat here. I like to put it just before, right? So because it has a B flat there, and you're still in the key of B flat while you're playing these notes, right? I know, so this is a 4, right? So there's the 4. I know you're. Now, so I know your eyes in the morning sun. Now you could have done with this one here. You could do 3, 3, 4. That sort of works too. I know you're. But I think it is better on the 4 to the 5. I know your eyes in the morning. So morning. So that's a G minor with a minor 7th there. Morning sun. Now, we're also going to be singing as well, because when we're singing, we're creating multiple memory associations. And we're linking what we hear with the vocals, and we can train our vocals. And you notice that with this method, we're playing the melody and singing at the same time. And so you're killing 2 birds with one stone. Well, many birds actually, because you're learning to sing once, you're training your ear to hear the melody, right? And you're learning just to play the melody itself. So if you decide not to sing, right, and you'll learn to play it. And then later on, once you know it, you can just drop playing the melody with your right hand, and you can just sing it, and you can just do other things with your right hand over the chords. But while we're learning a song, we're going to do it this way. You'll learn the fastest and the most effective way to train that ear. So we're going to go. Now we're going to talk a little bit about vocals as we go through, right? But so I do have a section in my book about vocals and how you go about applying them. I don't have a lot of information about how you open your mouth and get the air out. You can just get another book for that. But you do have to project. So the air comes, from your lungs. You've got air flowing out, and it's the shape of that mouth you're making, that inner cavity, to make the sound. But always be confident, all right? So just pick a room that no one's around, and project it out, right? And take it slowly. I find people tend to rush sometimes, so the slower you go, the more chance that those vocals have to develop, because they are muscles. You're developing muscles in your throat, and your throat has a muscle memory as well. So when you're learning a song, just like your fingers have muscle memory, the muscles in your throat have muscle memory. So you might find that you can't hit a certain note, for instance, and it could be a little bit higher, and you're trying to make that note. You'll find the slower you go, and the more you practice trying to do it, your ear will automatically tune your throat to get to that note, and eventually the muscles will develop to hit the note. So the more you practice singing, the better you get at it. And by doing it this way, it lends itself to singing very well, because it's all about intervals, right? When a singer's singing, they're singing melodies, and we're learning with melodies, to hear the melody, and the intervals relate directly to how you sing, relative pitch movement. So what we're going to do here is, so we go, I know you're, and you listen to your voice, I know you're, and it goes, eyes in the morning sun. I feel you touch me in the pouring. I've lost where I was. G. Pouring. Oh, okay, so we're here, right? We're going to talk about this too. And this as well. This comes out of key here, right? So we're in C, right? So this comes out of key too, where it goes, I feel you touch me in the pouring. Now we could have went, it's normally a minor, right? Pouring. We could have stuck to minor, pouring rain, but it gives it a tiny bit more character when we go to a major instead. Pouring rain. And why? Well, this I know by G, right? I know that G's normally a minor, right? G minor. And we know that's the third. 1, 2, 3. It's the third chord, right, of the E flat. I know from just creating a lot of these that a 3M is the chord you choose when you're in the harmonic minor scale. Right? So so they're hinting into a minor scale, and it works really well. Pouring rain, right? And the moment, so we're on pouring rain, so we're on B flat, right? And the moment that you wander far from me. Okay, so I'm going too fast, so let's go a bit slower, and we'll start again, so we can just go over it together, right? So forget the intro, we've done the intro now, right? So we're on E, left hand, we just play the E, right? The E flat, we play E flat, not the E flat. I've got to be careful not to say, sometimes I say the wrong thing. I know what I'm trying to say in my head, and sometimes I say, so I've got to be careful and conscious of that too. So I'm doing a lot. I'm making a video, trying to keep my head talking. It's because normally when you're playing, you're not talking, right? It's your brain going into your hands. So if I do slip up, forgive me for that. I'm just keeping you on your toes, right? So we're on E, so we go 3. We're on B flat for the beginning, the lead in. I know your 4, 4, 5, right? 4, 4. I know your eyes. 3, 3. Eyes in the morning. Now that is so beautiful. So that's G minor, right? With a 7th. That's a minor 7th, right? You know it's a minor 7th. It's a tone down, right, from the root. There's your 5th. That's a minor. That's a major. Minor, major. Right? Morning. So it's dissonant resolves to the 1. Morning sun. So and it rests on the F minor. It rests on the minor 7, which is really interesting. So we'll do that again. I know you. Now the good thing with these, right? You can start anywhere, right? And you can morning rain, and it's a lot of the time it's good to practice rain. You can practice. You don't have to practice them in sequence, and it's better sometimes just to practice them randomly to break them up. So these little chunks, I call these box chords. Sometimes I put them in a table, and they're little patterns, and you get familiar with the patterns, and a lot of them are quite popular. You know, they use them a lot. Excuse me. So pouring rain, morning sun. The pouring rain's the other verse. Morning sun. Now we're coming out of key again. I feel you. So let's have a look at that coming out of key. So we're on a C, right? C is what normally in the key of E flat? Well, it's the 6th chord, right? It's the Aeolian mode, right? There's the 6. It's normally a minor, right? So, but we're turning it into a major. So that's what this is telling us. This is telling us it's the 6th chord, right? And this is the changing character. We've turned it into a major. So we take all these things here, all these blue, and we note them down, and you create a list of them all. So the more songs you learn, you discover more different ones. And I've got a list in my book of them. And there are ways you can add, so they're little tricks that composers do to make your song a bit more interesting coming out of key. And you can just use them whenever you like. You know, in your own compositions, you might come to a point and say, oh, well, I think that's going to work if I use a 6M or I use a 3M, you know. So it gives you a lot of information when you're learning other people's songs. So, all right, where are we up to? So that's the first verse. Oh, well, that's the intro. So we'll go to, so we start on B flat. I know you'll rise in the morning sun. I feel you touch me in the pouring rain. And the moment that you wander far from me. So this is such a beautiful combination, this one. So C minor, so it's just rolling down. It's nothing that exciting, but it is such a beautiful. You're coming down the chord, but starting on the high 7. Far from me, I want to feel you in your arms, feel you. So they hang on the same note for a fair bit too. Now remember, they're singing quite high too. They're up here somewhere. I don't know how high they go. They've got a lot of high octaves in their voice. Feel you in your arms again. So those arms again, have a look there. So we're on the 3rd. Feel you in my arms. 4-2. See the 4-2? You'll find a lot of melodies. They'll combine a 4-2 or a 6-4 or a 6-2. Yeah, they're very. You get used to these. The more songs you play, you get used to what people do, right? So again, and you. So then we're up here, right? So we're on the B flat, and you. So we're here, right at the end. Now we're on the bridge, right? And you come to me. Oh no, oh no. Now, when you sing, if you're singing right, now when I'm singing, I can't put a lot of high frequencies up here. Oh no, without sounding too sort of nasally, but oh no, but it's okay. You can play that note. You can add in some more bass frequency, right? It's called your middle voice when you mix a high frequency and lower. But we do this all the time because you can never sing. One note. It's actually mathematics called the Fourier transform. That one sound has the addition of all the octaves, right? So you already have elements of this note and that note in your voice to shape the sound. It's the tone of your voice, and you can control that. So if you can't quite hit a higher note, just add a bit of the lower frequency, and there's ways you can do that. It's all practice. And you also come to me. So come to me on a summer breeze. So summer breeze, right? That's a high 7 coming to the 5 down to high minor 7, right? So minor 7 to the 5 to the minor 3. Summer breeze, keep me. And this is so beautiful. This whole combination here, and then here. Just watch what it does. So this is summer breeze, keep me warming your love and you. So another thing you can do is you can look at sometimes another memory association you can make with songs is the flow of your hand. Sometimes your hand goes up and comes down and goes up and comes down again. And you can add that as a memory association as well. So let's have a look at that pattern there. It's such a beautiful pattern. So it's warm. So we're on a minor 7th chord there, F minor 7th, right? So it's minor 7, 5, 4, then back up. See the flow's going up, and 2. That 2. Now that 2 we hit again when we come here. Softly, the same note there. Now we jump out a key here in such a beautiful place. Softly leave. So softly leave. And there's a minor 5 there. And it's me you need to show. And that's the 6. Show how deep is your love. How deep is your love. How deep is your love. So let's just go back to here and talk about that. So D flat, okay. So what is D flat normally? This is the key of E flat, right? So there's a 5th rule, right? There's E flat, there's a 5, there's a 6, right? So D flat isn't even in the key, right? So we got to say, well, what is normally D flat, right? Well, what is normally D flat on the key of E flat? C is the 6, right? C minor is the 6. So what this is saying here, is we're taking the 6th, right? We're taking the 6th and we're sharpening it, right? So normally we've got a C minor. So we abolish that minor character completely, and we're just saying we're sharpening the 6th and we're putting a new character on it, right? And it's a major character. So it's telling you where it's come out of key in terms of the mode and the new character we've applied to it. So it's giving you a lot of information. And then there's a whole lot of understanding why they did that, like why they chose to, and it's got to do with, well, firstly, what's the next key? Like, where does this appear? It could be in the next key around the circle fifths. So there's even more information you can gain. But what these are doing here, it's just telling you what it's done. And you can use that in another song, right? So this is done, just taken a 6 and just sharpened it and just turned it into a major. So it's kept at major, right? So let's have a look back here. Warming your love and you, warming your love and you. And you can practice like that. Warming your love and you. And when you're singing too, you always go slowly, because the slower you go, right, you're developing that muscle in your vocals, right? There's muscles there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So I could add some more like frequency up here, but I can't sing that high, right? But I'm more comfortable in a lower range. But warm in your love and you. So I'm putting a lot of more lower for this range here, with a tiny bit of that. Warm in. Oh, where are we? So F minor. Blech. Warm in your love and you. Right, coming down like that. Then we're changing here, right? Softly. Now what are we doing there on the softly? It's a 6. There's a 5. There's a 6 to the -5. Softly leave, and resolves to the 3rd. Leave. Right? And we're just rising again with the 3 -5. And it's me you need to show. And when he does the show, the 6, he's right up here. I think Barry Gibb sings it. If you listen to it. Now, a lot of the times when you're going through this, play it. So when you reach a new section, play it and come back, play it and come back. I'm not sure how long to do these videos or what even to concentrate on when I'm trying to teach this. So I'm going to get better in time of trying to deliver this information. But I'll need more feedback from you, whoever's watching. Feedback will be good, because I'll be able to focus a bit more on what to do to sort of make this helpful for you. But you can go to my website, of course, and the song's there and all the intervals are there, and so all the information's there. And I'll put chapters too in this video so you can sort of jump to sections. Maybe I can put the chapters into where I'm doing verses, and that might work too. So you can jump to certain sections if you're having problems with. Anyway, we haven't even hit chorus. So let's look at the chorus. So we'll run from just that. So show. So we're up there, right? Show. How deep is your... And that's just playing the same note, right? So we're up here, right? We're up here. So there's the 5 and there's the 6. Show. How deep is your love? And there's the love. And then I come down right here. I think they do at a bit lower frequency when they're singing in this vocal, if I remember. How deep is your love? I like to go really deep because it's saying the word deep, so you sing it deep. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to now learn. So we'll see what we've done there. So normally that's a major. It's just given that sad character, right? So they've done so normally A flat is major. Now what would A flat be in the key of E flat? It's the 3rd, right? The 3rd. No, 4th, sorry. E flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 4th. So it's a major 7th, right? Character. So, but what they've done, they've turned it to a minor chord, right? So you'll see that is a 4M, and that's pretty common. That one's pretty common. The 3M is pretty common. 3M's pretty common. I've seen that 6M a few times. I don't think I've ever seen this one. I might even have that I'm not sure. I might have that listed in my book. If I don't, I'll put it in because that's a great one. Where are we? Yeah, so you see the chorus. They've got have we introduced that one before? No, we haven't. So that's a new one they've introduced in the chorus. But then we see that again, right? We see that again from here, and we see the C again, and then they repeat that one again. So that's the new, where it comes out of key, with that tiny bit of character they add there. Need to. See how much sadder that is? Need to. Now, this works, right? The reason this works is that we can easily change from major to minor here is because we're not singing the 3rd interval, right? We're singing up here, which is this where are we? Needs to, 7 to the 1, right? So 7-1 here. Needs to, and it's pretty far away from the 3rd too. So even though we're in this key, and very common in songs going from majors to minors. I see that a lot in pop songs, especially. Not just pop songs, of course, all pieces of music would do that. Going from majors to minors. So if you're coming straight from a major chord and it's the same chord going to minor, you're always coming out of key. Because the Western major scale never does that, right? It's either major chord or minor, and to make it something major, you come out of key, right? So you'd know straight away that it comes out of key when it does that. But that's very popular. So a 4M, little m, is quite a popular one. So where are we? So we're on 11, A flat. So learn, cause so we're rising back up, cause we're still on the minor, 7-1. Now we're on the 5 of the E flat, living in a world of, and that's just the same note, living in a world of fools. So, and now the fools again. So have a look and listen to this. Living in a world of fools. But this time, right, it's that we're actually playing, what are we playing? A 6 high, okay? what did we play before? So we're doing the 6 high. Before, we had a 6 high too, right? So they've chosen that same combination of that chord, the 6 high, right? Because you have that in your memory, right? You've heard the bridge, and that's a lot of that's tricks. What songs can get popular is that they give you a hint of something, right? And they repeat it again, and they come back and they play it again, and so they've given you this chord which comes out of key even with a 6 high, and it's in your brain, and it's come out in such a beautiful place, and then you hear it again with a different leads, a different lead. You're coming into F minor, from F minor into it, right? So you're leading into it differently, but you're hearing the same thing, the 6 high, and you remember that in your head. So living in a world of fools. So now that is such a beautiful chord to place there, right? Living in, and also you notice that 5 there on the E is the same note. So there's the same trick from before where they pick a note and they use the same note. Living in a world of fools, breaking us down. Same note on C. So that's an anchor note. So that's another example of an anchor note where they just chose one note. Whereas that intro, they had the 2 notes. This is an anchor note on 3 chords. So they've went around it and they've landed back. That's a common trick too. And these things you develop, over time when you're starting to do your own music, write your own music. All these little tricks. So where are we? So fools, breaking us down. So that's the major 7, the C7, sorry. C7, it's a major chord with a 7th. Down, when they all should. Oh, so down, when they all should. So all should, right? Can you see what we're doing here? We're on a minor second. All should let us be. So there's a minor 3rd on the F minor. We belong. There's the minor again. Long to you and me. Now we're ready for the verse. We're on the 3. I believe in you. You know the door to my very soul. Right, so bring that up. Bring that up here. Should always bring it up. Door to my very soul. I've just lost it where we were. We're here. Door to my very soul. You're light in my deepest. So light here, light in 5/5, light in down to the 3. Oh, that's actually should be a. No, that's correct. Major 3rd. Light in my. Then it becomes that fifth on the E flat becomes the 3rd. Deepest, right? So it's like we've anchored the melody to that note as we change chords. That's extremely common. Deepest, darkest hour. And that's darkest hour, and that's the flow down, just running down the chord, the 7th chord. C minor 7. Darkest hour, you're my savior when I. To the 2, right? So we're on F minor. Savior 4/2 to the 5. And you. And then we come here 7 and you on the B flat, so minor 7 of the 1. And you may not think that right? 5 to the 3, that I care for you. I really love that bit. So we're on the minor 7th 5 to the minor 3. Care for you when you minus 3 to the 4, right? Minus 3 to the 4. When you, this is the flow thing. No down inside that I. So no down inside that I. See the flow? It's going down, up and down. And then a lot of the times to learn that, you just go slow. And then you know the intervals. You focus on the intervals. No down inside that I. No. And then you can, by going slow too, then you can start mucking around with your vocals and see what tone and character you can come out of your vocals. So, no down inside that I really do. 6, 4, minus 5, sorry, 6 minus 5, 6 minus 5, really do. So beautiful. Really do. Oh, I forgot to highlight that one there with the blue. I'll do that. I'll fix that up. But that it does it there again in the bridge. I think I highlighted it up here in this bridge. Yeah, I did. I just didn't copy that. So it does the same in the second bridge because it's the same. It's just different notes. So the bridge is the same. Yeah, just different words, right? And it's me you need to. Me you need to. So we're looking here, right? And we're going me, you. So it's 1, 3, 4 plus 5. But I can look down, right? The idea is to not use, try to use this as a loose crutch. At first when you're working it out, we use this. But eventually what happens is you'll find that those numbers, once you get good at this, you won't need them. Right, you can just work from chords and lyrics and you'll be just working it out, knowing the intervals and saying them in your head and just knowing. You won't need to visually look at them, and it's actually beneficial to remove them at a certain stage. So you might do 10 of these songs with the numbers, or depending how many. You'll find, I think I did about, 15 I wrote down, or maybe a bit more with numbers, and then I found out that I could find them without them, and it was actually I progressed faster when I got rid of them. But you need to get to that point, and to get to that point, you put the numbers down. And it's best for you to, the way you do it is you listen to the song, right? You play it. Rather than trying to, you can do it from sheet music, right? You can look at it from sheet music, but that's not developing your ear, right? So you're better off listening to the song and then trying to work it out with your hands. Right, you know some theory now, you know some intervals, you try to work it out, and then you write it down on paper. Right? You just write the interval numbers, just as I have for them here. Right? And you'll find you do 10 of those with 10 songs, and you start to get pretty good. The more you do, the better you're going to get, and then you'll get to a point where you won't even you won't have that. You'll be using a program called something like Songbook Pro, which brings songs from Ultimate Guitar tabs, and you can create a library. That's what I use on my tablet. I got my tablet here. I've got Songbook Pro on there. All right, so I can bring the song up there too. I've got it here. Right, so that's the process. So, and then we got the chorus again. So I won't go through the chorus. So I think that's it, because this video's gone on for a fair bit. I hope you've got a lot out of this video. This will be here, right, ready to go on the website, so you can have a go at it. And I'll see you in the next song analysis video. Okay. All right. Bye.